Hey there, how is it going everyone? In the last video, we were able to render our templates which were in form of HTML in combination with Django's templating language. In this video, we are going to be able to add static files which include CSS and JS files. So we're going to do this so that we add some styling and some interactivity to our web application. So to do that, we are going to go to our code, and what you're going to do is to create a static folder. Now this static folder is similar to the templates folder in that instead of holding HTML files, it's going to hold our static files. Now static files can be images, they can be SVG files, template, they can be SVG files, CSS files, JavaScript files, which we are going to see in a moment. So let's create our static file folder. So I'm going to create our static folder and call it static. Now within this static folder, I'm going to copy the static assets for our application. So I'm going to go where those files are located. I'm going to search for them. I'm going to close this. Go back to my front end folder and copy the folder CSS and the folder JS. So I'm going to close this. Now what I'm going to do is to come to the static folder. So I'm going to open that again. Then go back to our desktop coding and our application. I'll go to the notes application, then go to static. So I'm going to paste our files. Now after pasting them, we'll go back to our code and we are having our static folder that has our CSS file. So we have bootstrap.min.css. We are also having main.css. So we're going to be using Bootstrap for our UI. Now this main CSS file is to add some structure to our UI, but you're going to be using Bootstrap. So we also have some JavaScript, some custom JavaScript that's going to enable us to have some interactivity in our web application. So to load these static files, we are going to use a Django template, a Django template tag that is called load static. So we're going to go to our templates and we shall do that in our base.html. Now if we are to see, we have links that link to our static folder, our static files. We are going to use the template tag called load static. So I'm going to go just up here. So the Janeiro just simplifies my work because I just do load, then write static. Now what this does is to load the static templates tags that are provided within our django.contrib.static files app. So let's check that out. So we shall go to our keep project, then we go to settings and we go to installed app. So we're going to see django.contrib.static files. So this static files app helps us to use the template tags of static to load our static files. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to close this and then we go back to our base.html. So within our base.html, we've been able to use this load static that's going to enable us to use the static template tags. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to cut this and say static. Now, after doing that, we're going to look into our static folder where our CSS files located. So they are located within CSS, then bootstrap.min.css. So I'll just paste that in. So I'm going to paste that in and I'll do the same thing for the CSS. So I'm going to cut this and then say static. Janeiro auto completion is assured. So I'm going to paste this. When I paste it, I'm going to save. When I save, I'm going to go back to the application and refresh. So I'll also look into my server to see why the files are not added. So we're going to see have 404 for our static file. So we have static css bootstrap.min.css, so it's not found. Let's try to restart our server. We're going to first stop our application and then run our server again. So when we restart our application, we are seeing that our CSS is now working. So when we navigate to the different types, we see that the header is being inherited and the styles are working as expected. So our UI is using Django, so we shall go to also to our index.html file. So we are going to close this. Let me first close the open editors. Now go back to my templates, and within my notes, I'm going to go to the index.html file that has links that take us to the login and the register. So I'm going to change this as well. So I'm going to cut and then say URL. So this is going to take us to notes. This is going to be register. This is also going to be notes login. So I'm going to say URL. It's going to be notes login and save. So when I go back and refresh, go to create account, and also be able to log in, and this is working as expected. So in this video, we've been able to add CSS files to our templates so as to add some styling to these templates. Thank you for watching. If you feel you've watched and learned from this video, please go ahead and leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want more content like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.